watching Patrick Hoffman just speak about Lincoln Center Theater on film was so moving because I've been thinking so much about what is the role of a director? How can you tell what we do? And to be recognized by the Outer Critics Circle is amazing. And I was thinking about The Outsiders and how I got that job. And when I was interviewing for it, they went to the library and they watched my production of Heroes of the Fourth Turning. And it was because there was that record that I could get that big job that led me to be able to get this big job. So thank you for that. I want to speak about Kimberly Belflower, the incredible playwright of John Proctor's The Villain. I first was sent this play in 2019, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with Kimberly, and then COVID happened, things happened, and our schedules didn't align, and I thought this play was going to slip out of my life. And it was a tragedy, and my heart broke, and then it came back to me. And so much of this process has felt cosmic and witchy, and Kimberly has written a play that's from the female gaze, about the female experience, and she's given so much power to young girls. And when I was first starting out as a director, which you gotta be tough, you're in charge, you're the boss, everybody's looking at you, I really wanted to be those things and felt like I couldn't be a girl. And being in Kimberly's play with these words, I think it did something inside of me over the past few months. And she is extraordinary, and this play has changed me. And I remember a moment sitting with Sadie Sink and Amalia Yud, two of the amazing actresses in the play, on stage. And there's a scene that's very, very emotional for them, and I've staged them like downstage, right in the laps of the audience. And I remember sitting with them and looking into their faces and saying, so emotionally, you have to go there 8 times a week. Not going there is not enough. So how can I help support you? And sitting with them and looking into their eyes, all of us with tears kind of just like dripping out, not crying, just trying to figure out how we were going to sustain this incredibly raw emotional thing that Kimberly had created, just really moved me and made me feel like a girl, like a director, and it made me feel emboldened. Another person I want to thank is my husband, Gabriel Ebert, who is in the play, and that's such a joy. And when everybody's like, oh, Danya, you're so calm and grounded and steady, he's like, I know the truth. So thank you for keeping my secret. And to Sue Wagner and John Johnson, thank you for bringing this play to Broadway, where it belongs. I remember going outside to the stage door one night, and these teenage girls were out there, and it had been a while. They were just still there outside of juniors, kind of tears in their eyes, like a kind of crazed look in their eyes. And I met them, and they were like, we just can't believe that we're seeing ourselves. We got taught in school that theater could change your life, and this is the first time I really felt that that's true. So thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Sue and John. Thank you to everybody who works on this play, and thank you to the Outer Critics Circle for seeing me. Thank you.
Gosh, I shouldn't have had to go after Danya, and then hearing Victoria Clark say my name is too much. Thank you so much to the Outer Critics Circle for this incredible honor. This is my Broadway debut and my first New York production, period. To be received so warmly by all of you is just more than I could have ever dreamed would happen. This play came from where I come from, which is a small town in rural Appalachian, Georgia. Which I'm going to deviate from my script for a minute to say that the nearest bookstore was 30 minutes away, but then there was a Barnes & Noble 45 minutes away that sold Broadway cast albums. And my best friend and I would drive to the Mall of Georgia, where the Barnes & Noble was, and we would take turns saving up money to buy cast albums to listen to on the way home. And there were so many times that I would listen to your voice. That's great. And to the other voices in this room, and I just kind of can't. My hands are going numb. But I wrote this play so close to the bone that for a while I was worried it wouldn't resonate with anyone who didn't grow up like me. And to be proven so wrong by audiences of all generations, from all kinds of backgrounds and walks of life, has been the most incredible lesson that there is more than we realize that unites us in our shared humanity. John Proctor as the villain has had a non-traditional journey to this moment. It was developed for like 8 years now, 7, 8 years, through educational theater and regional theater. So many hands have shaped this story, more than I can name here, and I'm so grateful to them.
So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the show that I took my friend to see last night. This is a musical called Maybe Happy Ending.
Yay.
How do you make a musical with the premise two robots fall in love and have it become the most gorgeous, heartbreaking thing you've ever seen? We will forever be in awe of our next honorees. And I'd like to add that one of them, Will Aronson, is a colleague and a friend whom I have had the honor of working with for many years. I've directed 2 of his projects. And he is the most down-to-earth, hilarious person. And I hope you will take this as a compliment, Will, when I say that I see a lot of you in Oliver. When I watched Darren Chris's brilliant performance of Oliver, I just see you. I see your optimism, and I see your quirky sense of humor. I even see a little bit of your walk. I see your glass is always half full of spirit, and your incredible heart and generosity. And I just met you today, your collaborator, Hugh Park, and I'm thrilled for both of you and happy to present you with this year's awards for Outstanding Book and Outstanding Score. Please help me in congratulating Will Aronson and Hugh Park.